Chapter 10. With the office parties out of the way and the MT building closing until the new year, I found a million things to do. Forms needed signing, reviews had to be finalized, things had to be mailed. I ended up teleconferencing with the European offices around lunchtime and didn't finish until end of business. But my overflowing inbox told me I hadn't even put a dent in things. Someone knocked on my open office door, and I looked up to find Luc Guillot standing in the doorway. "Excusez-moi," Luc said. "I don't mean to interrupt." "It's not a problem." I waved him into the office. "Help yourself to a drink." "D'accord." Luc poured something and took a seat across from my desk. "Is there anything I can do to help?" "Did you finish going over those marketing reports?" "Yes." "What about reviewing the upcoming press releases?" "Yes." I squeezed my eyes closed, trying to think. "HR had that issue." "Taken care of," Luc said. "I knew there was a reason I promoted you." I scanned the sheets in front of me to see what had to be dealt with before everything shut down. I tore my eyes from the papers for a moment. "Is something wrong?" "You look like you need help." Luc reached for the stack. "Is Germany causing problems again?" "I think I got that straightened out, but allocating resources and prioritizing certain lines tends to lose something in translation." "Don't you speak German?" Luc asked. "Yes," I snorted. "Perhaps that's the problem." He chuckled. "Seriously, James, what can I do to help? You're going to be here all night. Vivi won't be happy if you don't show up for dinner." Shit. I held in my curse. With all this holiday insanity, I'd forgotten about their dinner party. Alex was supposed to meet me at the MT building, and we were going to leave from here. However, I hadn't heard from her, and thought she may have gotten bogged down with rescuing reindeer. "Shouldn't you head home to help your wife prepare?" I asked. Luc shook his head, sipping from the glass. "Vivi has banned me from the kitchen. Only the caterers are allowed in there. So there is nothing for me to do, except make sure that you show up." I sifted through the stacks and handed Luc every requisition form. "You're up to speed on next year's initiative and our proposed budget. Enjoy making the hard decisions, Mr. Vice President." Luc reached for one of the pens on my desk. "Is this why you gave everyone gift baskets? You didn't want them to hate you for denying their requests?" "I'm not denying them. You are." Luc cursed me in French, which made me laugh. I was glad he'd finally learned to loosen up around me. 2 hours later, security notified me Alexis was on her way up to my office. I rocked back in my chair and rubbed my eyes. In those 2 hours, we'd approved or denied everyone's requests. I'd tweaked the budget, updated our projects, and prepared notes for our first board meeting once everyone was back from the holiday break. Almost everything was done, and the few things that remained, I could do at home. "Perfect timing," I said, spotting her coming down the hallway. Her long brown hair was braided and bounced with each step. 2 dry cleaning bags hung over her arm, but she appeared frazzled. Luc turned to see what had caught my attention.
"I'm sorry I'm late,"
she said.
"The police wanted to hold on to Comet and Cupid, and Cross was having none of that. We came this close."
She held up her hand, indicating a small space with her thumb and pointer fingers.
"To carrying out a prison break."
She looked embarrassed when she spotted Luc in my office.
"Mr. Guillot, I wasn't expecting to see you. Aren't we supposed to be having dinner at your house in 45 minutes?
Luc laughed. "And now you can." He crossed to where she was standing and gave her a kiss on each cheek. "I will see you soon. Vivi will be pleased to see you both." Luc cast another look in my direction, and I nodded. After he left, Alex made her way to my desk, putting the garment bags down on the empty chair.
"Did I interrupt?"
"Not at all, sweetheart. Luc stayed late to help me get through this mountain of paperwork." I gestured at the stacks waiting in my outbox.
"What did you get him for the holidays?"
A few things. I'll tell you about them in the car. I watched her unzip the garment bag, which contained the red dress that always made me stand at attention. Nice dress. She fought not to smile.
I'm glad you think so.
She crinkled her nose.
Do you think I smell like a reindeer?
I laughed. Sweetheart. She cut me off.
I'm serious. I keep smelling reindeer. I think it's me.
Getting up, I pulled her into my arms and inhaled deeply. You smell amazing.
Is that good amazing? Or reindeer amazing?
She looked back at the clock.
I showered at work, but I didn't have time to do my hair.
Gently, I pulled the ponytail holder off from the bottom and undid her braid with my fingers. All I smell is your vanilla and citrus shampoo. I jerked my chin toward the washroom. Now go get changed. We don't want to be late or Vivi will blame Luke. And after he sacrificed 2 hours to help me, showing up on time is the least we can do.
You never show up to social events on time,
she said, as she grabbed the bag and went into the washroom. I'm working on it. I shut my office door and changed the setting on the wall of the windows so I could change in my office. Luckily, she'd picked up my suit from the dry cleaner, so I put on the jet black suit with the emerald green vest and the candy cane tie over a fresh white shirt. I was adjusting the monogrammed cufflinks she'd gotten me a while back when she came out of the washroom. I should have had the tailor leave a little extra room in my pants.
Can you zip me up?
She spun around, holding her wavy hair off her neck. I tugged the zipper up, placing a few kisses along her shoulders and back. She let out a contented moan.
Thanks,
she said, letting her hair drop and gently combing her fingers through it before clipping half of it up. She eyed the tie.
You don't have to wear that silly thing.
I like it, I said. We collected our belongings and went downstairs to find my town car waiting out front. Chapter 11. The Guillots were lovely people, but most of their dinner parties revolved around business. So, as usual, I ended up talking shop most of the night. But I kept an eye on Alex. She always felt out of place at these things. Not that I could blame her, but tonight she regaled everyone with tales of rescuing stolen reindeer. I only heard half the story since others were demanding my attention, but I'd hear the rest later. Instead, I kept myself entertained by caressing her thigh beneath the table. Finally, the evening came to its natural end. We bid everyone good night, and Marcal drove us home.
Before I went to work this morning, I stopped by Bruiser's place,
Alex said.
I thought I'd drop off his gift. Turns out I wasn't the only one who had that idea.
I smirked. Great minds. She gave me that look that said she was proud or impressed. I could never quite discern exactly which it was, but I liked it. A lot.
Have you seen the TV you sent over there?
She asked.
It's as big as his living room wall.
Is it too big? I'd asked the guy at the store what he thought based on the room dimensions, but I suspected he saw a nice commission in his future and didn't care too much about the room size.
It's like walking into an IMAX. Bruiser loves it.
That's all that matters. My bodyguard put his life on the line for me, so setting up his place with all new smart appliances, a big screen, and every sports package known to man was just a small token of my appreciation for the sacrifice he was willing to make. What did you get him?
A gift basket filled with snacks and puzzle books. It was nothing compared to what you gave him.
I've seen him tackle the half-finished crosswords and sudokus you leave around the house, so I'm sure he'll enjoy your gift.
I hope so.
She fell silent, her mind elsewhere. I tried to lighten the mood. Tomorrow night we have that ugly sweater party at the O'Connells. Do you know who will be there?
Nick's sister and her family, along with Nick's parents and Jen's parents, probably a few of Jen's co-workers from the hospital, and whoever's not on shift tomorrow night. Lieutenant Moretti, Thompson, Heathcliff, maybe Jacobs. Why?
I wanted to make sure I have all the gifts covered.
You don't have to get them anything.
You didn't have to buy Bruiser a gift, I said.
I did too. He keeps you safe. I owe him everything.
So, you get why I have gifts for all of your friends, right?
I guess so.
Plus, I like buying gifts for people.
You like shopping,
she said. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. So, what are you wearing to the party? Did you buy an ugly sweater?
It's a surprise. You'll see what I bought tomorrow. I watched her place her shoes neatly in the closet. Then she came over to me and lifted her hair so I could unzip her dress. What are you wearing?
I don't know.
How about I get you something? She eyed me over her shoulder.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
It'll be cute, I promise.
But everyone's going to be there. Nick, Jen, Derek, Moretti, the Kales. I don't want to look like a moron.
Sweetheart, it's an ugly sweater party. If you aren't wearing an ugly sweater, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
You're not wearing a sweater,
she said. I found something better. I grinned. I'll find you something better too.
When will you have time?
The office is only open half a day tomorrow. I'll have all afternoon to find the perfect something for you. She looked uneasy, but she was too tired to argue.
Okay, but nothing that lights up or has bells?
What about something that plays music?
You know what? I changed my mind.
I was only teasing, gorgeous. I'll find you something, and if you don't like it, you don't have to wear it.
Thanks.
I kissed her. Anytime. Chapter 12. After work, Marcal and I spent the next hour scouring the shops at the mall before I found the perfect sweater for Alex. It was soft and oversized, which meant, if nothing else, she'd like the comfort factor. It was solid red with the head of a cartoon reindeer on the front. His antlers ran across her clavicle, and his nose sat right at her belly button. To top it off, I found a headband with reindeer antlers. Do you really think Miss Parker will wear these? Marcal asked, picking up the headband. Depends on how much she drinks. Might I suggest you pre-game before going to the party? I laughed. Maybe we will. As I suspected, I got home before her, so I put up a few more decorations and got ready for the night. By the time she got home, I had on my holiday blazer with the silver shirt and solid red tie. I almost wore the candy cane tie again, but the white stripes made the light silver shirt look dingy, and then I'd have to rethink my shirt choice again.
Martin?
She called when she came in. Wait right there.
Why?
I buttoned the blazer and smoothed the velvet fabric down. Then I went down the stairs and met her in the living room. What do you think? She stared, as if my appearance had overloaded her brain.
How do you do that?
She finally asked. Do what?
You're supposed to look ridiculous, and you do, but at the same time, you look like you should be in a Christmas ad for a men's razor.
Are you saying I should shave? I ran my hand over my expertly trimmed beard. I can do that while you get dressed.
No, you look incredibly hot. You shouldn't be hot. You should be ugly.
My eyes sparkled. Was there a compliment in there? I think there was, but it might have been an insult. I can't really tell. I moved closer to her. Did you say I was hot?
Yes.
Oh, so you think it's okay to objectify me?
Only because you like it?
I do. And thank you for the compliment. I pointed to the bag on the armchair. That's for you. It's more in line with what one would expect from an ugly sweater party, but it fits, given what you've been up to this last week. She gave me a confused look as she went to the bag.
A reindeer sweater.
You did save them.
I didn't save them. They were never in any danger. From what I heard, the people who took them were taking good care of them.
Regardless, I thought it was a cute sweater.
So I did smell like a reindeer.
I rolled my eyes. When are you going to give that up?
Around New Year's. It can be my resolution.
She poked around in the shopping bag.
I'm surprised you didn't get me a slutty elf for Mrs. Claus costume.
She knew me better than she realized, but I did my best to keep my face neutral, for fear she'd somehow figure out I'd bought her holiday lingerie, which I thought would pair nicely with my current ensemble. Not when we're spending the evening with a bunch of your cop friends.
Afraid they'd arrest me for solicitation?
No, I'm afraid Heathcliff would get drunk and hit on you. I don't want to encourage that behavior.
We're friends, Martin. That's it.
I know, and I know he'd never cross any lines. But I don't want to torture the man either. Even in an oversized sweater, you're hard to resist.
Were you afraid I'd wear the red dress again?
She asked. Wear whatever you like. At the end of the night, I know who you're going home with.
Damn, you're cocky.
More so when you wear the red dress. She rolled her eyes.
Don't be crass.
Then she took the bag and went upstairs to change. A few minutes later, she came downstairs, wearing the sweater, skin-tight leather pants, and spike heels. She held the headband in her hand.
What do you think?
Damn.
Right back at you, handsome.
I checked the time and picked up one of the shopping bags filled with gifts. Do you mind helping me with these? Once we loaded the car, Marcal drove us to the O'Connells and helped us unload the mountain of gifts. There was a slight chance I may have gone overboard when shopping for Jenny and Nick, but they were our closest friends.
James!
Jenny gave me a kiss as I lugged another bag inside.
You're gonna put Santa out of business.
I told him he could take the year off, I said. She laughed.
What is all of this?
These are for you. I put the bag down. And those are for Nick. I spotted him making his way through the kitchen. The rest are labeled. I hope we didn't leave anyone out. I picked up a few things for your parents and in-laws.
You shouldn't have,
she scolded.
You always do too much.
I do not. I put the last bag down and shook hands with Nick. Do you need help with anything? The detective gave me an odd look. Do you know what a sweater is?
He has no idea,
Alex said, placing another set of gift bags on the floor near the counter.
I tell him an ugly sweater, and he rips a page out of GQ.
He's a ball-buster, Thompson said, joining us in the kitchen. I'm guessing he got that from you, Parker. I've picked up a few tips here and there, I said. I've also learned to routinely wear a cup. You'd have to with this one, Thompson teased.
I'll take back your present,
Alex threatened, and Thompson laughed before offering her a hug. It's the holidays, be nice, he said.
You first,
she retorted. Let me introduce you to everyone, Nick said, ushering us out of the crowded kitchen and into the even more crowded living room. I've always been good in these types of situations, shaking hands, making eye contact, providing compliments. Jenny's parents and Nick's were pleasant and funny. I could see where Nick's quirkier personality traits had come from. Alex already knew his sister, brother-in-law, and niece. They fawned over her, shoving gift after gift at her. No matter how many times she denied it, or fell into a depressed abyss of blame and self-flagellation, this was a testament that what she did made a difference. She saved lives and restored families. She was amazing.
Why are you staring at me?
She asked the moment she was able to free herself from the constant attention.
Is it the sweater? Or the headband?
She moved to take it off, but I grabbed her hand and brought it to my lips. You're incredible, I said.
You're drunk.
She eyed the beer bottle in my hand.
How many of those have you had?
This is my first.
Did O'Connell spike it with absinthe?
You're incredible, I repeated, brushing my lips against her temple. She looked around, spotting Nick sneaking away from his family.
Hey,
she said.
Where's everyone else?
Heathcliff was in the middle of something big, so he and the LT had to work late. Jacobs volunteered to pick up another shift. He's looking for some holiday pay on top of OT. He's taking a ski trip in mid-January, and he's trying to save up for it. Damn, I wish I'd known that, I said. I could have gotten him something for the trip. You need to stop this insanity, O'Connell said. You're making the rest of us look bad. He eyed the gift bags waiting in the kitchen.
I don't know what you bought Jenny, but I'm pretty sure whatever it is gonna make what I got her look like total shit.
It's moisturizer. Nick stared at me like I had 4 heads.
The expensive beauty counter stuff, right?
I wondered if he really would punch me in the mouth like Ella predicted. Is that a problem?
Nope.
Nick stared at me for a long time, almost as if it were a challenge. Finally, he laughed. I had a feeling that's what you'd do. He handed me an envelope. That's for you and Alex. Jen and I wanted to get you something special. Should I open it now? Go ahead. I glanced at Alex, but she seemed content to have me do it. Inside were passes to a 6-week cooking class taught by a Michelin-starred chef. This is incredible. I showed the voucher to Alex, but she didn't look surprised. She knew. Nick must have asked her what she thought before he bought the classes. Thank you. I turned to her. What do you think?
I do enjoy watching you cook.
I gave Nick a one-armed hug and tugged the envelope into my inner jacket pocket. Jenny said, if you think this is worth it, we can do a class together afterward. They're offering a ton right now. Everything from cooking to baking to painting to ceramics. She thought it'd be a nice change of pace to our double date nights.
You already gave it to them, Nikki?
Jen asked, coming up behind us.
I thought we were going to wait.
Sorry, honey. Nick gave me a look, hoping I'd help him out. I'm sorry, Jenny. I started it, I said. I told him what I got you, and things escalated from there.
Should we open our gifts now?
She asked.
You can wait,
Alex said before I could say a word.
You have so much going on tonight. You can do it when things calm down.
Jenny looked around at the insanity which had overtaken her house. Nick's niece had roped Thompson, her parents, grandparents, and Jenny's parents into some odd version of Uno that required charade-like behavior. I wasn't sure if the girl had invented the game or if things had changed drastically since the last time I played.
Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna take off,
Alex said.
It's been a crazy week. We've had something every night.
I heard you freed some reindeer, Nick said.
I'll give you the details another time.
She clung to my arm.
But I'm ready to call it a night. Is that okay, handsome?
I pressed my lips to her temple. Sure. After handing out gifts and making sure Nick wouldn't mind holding on to the rest for Heathcliff and Moretti, we said our goodbyes. On the table near the door were a pile of bags for us. Most were for Alex. She looked uncomfortable as she reluctantly accepted them, thanking everyone profusely. Then we loaded up the car, which we'd only recently emptied, and headed home. How was the ugly sweater party? Marcal asked.
Martin cheated,
Alex said. He always has to steal the spotlight. Marcal winked at me. I warned you about that, I laughed. No one on earth could steal that spotlight from Alex. She crossed her arms in front of her and stared out the window. Marcal gave me a look through the rear view, convinced I had put my foot in my mouth, but unsure exactly how I'd managed to do it this time. I shook my head, telling him not to ask. She'd be okay, but that's why she'd been in a rush to leave. Frankly, I was surprised we stayed as long as we did.